Hey guys, GamerZack here and welcome to my top 10 PC adventure games to watch in 2016. Now, adventure games provide a narrative experience with a hint of problem solving and tinged with danger. Well, it's time you embrace the sense of adventure within yourself and take a step towards these journeys of discovery. First up, we have Night in the Woods by Infinite Fall. You play May, a college dropout returning home to the failing town of Possum Springs, hoping to reconnect with former friends, but things aren't the same. Strange things happen as the light fades and there is something in the woods. Explore the world and characters in what seems to be between a dream and a nightmare. A game that's as charming as it is melancholic, it's a fascinating setting and art direction. It raised $200,000 on Kickstarter when they asked for $50, and it's worth keeping an eye on for uniqueness alone. Next we have Jenny LeClue Detectivú by Mografi. Brimming with style and personality, you play Jenny, a young detective in the idyllic town of Atherton. You're pushed into action when your mother is accused of murder, and you soon discover things aren't what they seem. The art style is gorgeous and notably can go from cheerful to eerie. Everything is meant to be interactive, rewarding players who poke and prod, and choices should be meaningful. You can even search for clues during dialogue to see if there are any tells. With mature themes and strong characters, this one's looking amazing, and there's even a free playable teaser available right now. The game raised $100,000 on Kickstarter, reaching its stretch goal of full voice acting, for episode 1 at least. Further funds will be directed to the next 2 episodes in an intended trilogy, but we'll see how the first part goes. Then we have a couple games intended for virtual reality only, starting with The Assembly by nDreams. A mysterious organization has been experimenting outside the confines of law and morality, but what should be sacrificed in the name of progress? You explore the lives of 2 individuals faced with impossible choices that will shape the future of your own lives and the world. Morally ambiguous with a Black Mesa vibe, this one looks fascinating. With VR tech becoming available in 2016, this one wants to take advantage right away, specifically designing mechanics around a VR experience. Analyze your environments in closer detail by looking around and discover what secrets lie in waiting. The whole thing is an interesting experiment, but its success is yet to be determined. We'll see how it goes in the coming year. And next we have Edge of Nowhere by Insomniac Games. Here, interestingly enough, is a third-person VR game. That sounds weird, but some say it works better than expected. You travel to the Antarctic in search of a missing expedition team, but the rescue mission takes a turn as you venture into the unknown. Your wits and sanity will be tested as madness begins to take over in the surreal world with Lovecraftian influences. It's interesting to see new uses for VR, and this could be another avenue for execution. The game could go either way at this point, but we should keep an eye on it just to see how it turns out. Moving on from VR, next we have Far Cry Primal by Ubisoft Montreal. Set in the Mesolithic period about 12,000 years ago in the fictional land of Oros, you play the story of Takar, a hunter who learns how to tame the wild beasts of the land. Face off against mammoths, saber-toothed tigers, and rival tribes as you craft weapons and rise in power, eventually leading your own tribe. Gameplay looks good with combat seeming visceral. It's an interesting step in the Far Cry series, but we have yet to see if there's any depth to the story, the world, or interactions between tribes. It's definitely a more actiony sort of adventure, but we'll see if the narrative holds up. And next we have Rise of the Tomb Raider by Crystal Dynamics. It came to Xbox first, but it's coming to PC in 2016, so here it is. Set a year after the last game, Lara Croft is still struggling with her experience on Yamatai as she delves deeper into her late father's research. One criticism has been the odd combination of Lara's personality combined with the gameplay's bloodlust, ludo narrative and all that. But if you're able to look past that, it should be a fine experience. Of course, this is going to be a PC port, and with ports like Arkham Knight out there, there's no guarantee that the new Tomb Raider will turn out as the same product on PC. The last game ported over okay, but I'd always be wary. Just check out a port report before jumping on this one to be safe. And then we've got Mafia 3 by Hangar 13 and 2K Czech. Returning to the criminal world, the series takes a bit of a twist as you take control of Lincoln Clay, a war vet seeking revenge for his friends. Set in 1968 New Orleans, Lincoln aims to set up his own organization to compete with the Italian mob and achieve his vengeance. Vito Scaletta makes a return too, but as one of your allies and lieutenants. Objectives will have a variety of approaches, from run and gun to stealth, and interrogation is a thing. You'll also be able to take control of territory, assigning one of your lieutenants to operate the location. There seems to be interesting changes in the latest iteration of the Mafia series, but there are some apprehensions that it might feel too different. If you've been a Mafia fan, check out some gameplay just to be sure. Next up, we've got Batman, a Telltale Games series. Telltale has new games releasing every year, it seems, and this time we travel to the city of Gotham. Batman definitely seems like the perfect setting for some moral ambiguity and mature themes, but will this game stand out from the plethora of Telltale titles already available? We've grown to expect exactly what Telltale will do with their games, but it would be interesting to see if they decide to change anything up this time around. Pretty much nothing has been revealed so far, so it's hard to say, but it's a noteworthy title that could turn out great. We'll know more once they show off some gameplay. Then we have Syberia 3 by Benoît Sokal. The long-awaited continuation in the snowy steampunk world of Syberia, we once again follow Kate Walker in her adventures of discovery across Eastern Europe. We've seen very little aside from some artwork, screenshots, and a short clip, so it's hard to say how it'll turn out or what the story is this time around, but we can hope it will be a step forward in the series, aesthetically and mechanically. It's been over 10 years since the last one, and a 2016 release is planned. Finally, we have Firewatch by Campo Santo. The great outdoors. A story about escaping the mess of day-to-day life by living out in the wilderness. However, you begin to discover not all is right as signs of abduction and sabotage become evident. At first, Firewatch looks like a survival game, but it's much more of a story-driven adventure. Stay in contact with your supervisor over a handheld radio who'll keep you clued in and guide you, though your choices could affect your relationship with the only person you have to talk to. So far, we've seen an intriguing storyline with superb voice acting. If the whole game can be as compelling, then this could be a really good one. Now, most of these games should be releasing in 2016, but either way, you should keep an eye on developments to see if these adventures will be worthwhile in themselves or simply be the roads most traveled. And to wrap up, here's something I'd like to know. VR seems to be the in thing for 2016, and its implementation in adventure games is interesting. What do you think? Good or bad? Alright, that wraps up my top 10 PC adventure games to watch in 2016. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, drop me a like or share it with your friends. The support is always appreciated. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.